taken away. Here comes Foster with an emphatic dunk. Everybody on their feet.
Willie Foster, that brother is special. You were on it, Dion, early in the season. Come on now.
Listen, I'm just going to say this. Y'all can cut your TV off now. there ain't nothing else to see.
There's nothing else to say.
Ain't nothing else to say. Ain't nothing else to talk about. I told you at the beginning of the year.
Watch out for that,
I said,
man.
there's a guy down in Lima about 6. They give him 6'2", but I've walked there. He's about 6'1". Yeah. And this guy is super exciting. And that dunk right there, hey, #1 on SportsCenter, as it should be.
Man, that was a phenomenal dunk. Lima Senior winning a 3rd consecutive T-Cal title after the win over Start last night. But that was only an appetizer for what is going to be a phenomenal 3 nights of hoops, both in this area and beyond. Welcome into Gameday Nation. Yaw Bonsu, Rhett Boyd, Dion Thompson. The main appetizer tonight, the Battle of Sylvania, Northview and Southview. What a rivalry matchup that'll be. Northview is sold out for that game, and we'll have it live on this air. We also have a few other NLL matchups, Springfield at Whitmer, Napoleon at Findlay. We have BCSN Erie games, Bellevue at Perkins, Port Clinton at Edison, and then Toledo Christian at Cardinal Stritch, rounding out our coverage tonight. And if you're lucky, if you treat us right, dessert, a Catholic League championship is on the line. It's not going to be on our air, but we do have boots on the ground. We'll definitely have the highlights on Gameday Nation Overtime, but if you treat us nicely, we'll give you those highlights a little bit early. But our game of the week, Southview and Northview. We saw the Wildcats last week after all the hype, and then they get blasted by Whitmer by 30. How did they bounce back?
Well, listen, that's a matchup issue. I said that's not a talent issue or we're overconfident. It wasn't about that at all. That's a matchup issue, and Whitmer was the most disciplined they played on the season on both ends of the floor.
But why can't Southview's offense do the exact same thing Whitmer did a week ago? We're talking about a guy in Jerron Witcher that's averaging 18 and 10. You put him on Whitmer, that's probably even more bloody than we saw last week. So when you think about the Cougars and that offense going inside the paint, beating down Northview athletically the same way Whitmer did, why can't that be the same this time around?
And it can be, but so if you're going to allow that, you can't let the complimentary guys get busy. Adam Lepla averaging 10.5, Damian Clay. So at some point, the stars are going to get theirs.
Well, I mean,
should he have went down to Atlanta for tonight's show?
Oh, yeah, no. Hey, a lot went on apparently after I was gone.
It was fun with John Hobbs III.
John held it up, though. Shouts out to John Hobbs.
Yes, it was a fun time, but it's always nice when the 3 guys are at the desk together, the OG guys from the beginning of the season. The season is flying by, but not without some great action. We already have games tipping off. Bellevue at Perkins, after starting 15-0, the Pirates are 2-2 in their previous 4 games. Dan Lindsley, Frank Joffrey have the call.
90% down, nice rebound by Sammy Swineford.
And look at who we have in studio, Glass City Wranglers General Manager Terry Alls.
Hey,
thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
I saw you were all giddy beforehand. In the studio. You were fascinated by everything
like
going
a high school girl with a crush.
I like that. Regular season right around the corner. I'm curious, what do you think of the team this year? It's a lot of local talent, which is always a great thing, but what are your thoughts?
We've got some local stars, but we got some very good complementary pieces that you can just throw it to the rim. We're super excited. This team will be probably one of the best teams we put on the Wranglers organization in the past few years, for sure.
The vision you had when you joined, I think it was October 2024, right? The list of goals that you had when you first joined the organization to now, where are you in the progress bar of that?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sure you're never satisfied.
No, well, so I go from coaching last year to GM this year.
Welcome back to Gameday Nation. We have Terry Alls with us, General Manager for the Glass City Wranglers. I wanted to ask, you've been around so many different levels of basketball. I'm curious, when you look at the changes throughout the years, what is something that has caught your eye?
I think basketball IQ. I think you have some teams that have it, some teams don't. Some players have it, some don't. I think what we're lacking, especially in our area, is a shot clock. In Ohio.
You know, we had coaches in here a few weeks ago, and they said the shot clock does help them when it comes to higher level competition.
It'll separate the good from the bad. It really will. Some bad teams can hold the ball for an entire quarter, and that allows you to
especially
compete.
in late game situations.
If you look at, you'll remember this.
I already know where you're going.
St. Francis Macomber game.
7. Yes.
12-10.
I don't know why more teams don't do that.
11-13 was the final score, I think. 11-13 was the final score. And it's like you negate so much if you can do that. So if you have a shot clock, now you got to coach.
And let's get the backdrop. Basketball,
You know,
yes,
it's-
yeah.
But you're a GM, which means you have to wear more hats that are
I
bigger
do.
than basketball. How difficult may that be to not focus on
Yes,
basketball 100% of the time?
You know what? It's extremely hard sometimes because I'm like, because I know the first game I'm gonna sit in the stands and be like, man, we probably should have ran that. Ooh, defensively, we probably should have been here.
It is halftime presented by Citizens National Bank in our game of the week. Southview leading Northview 17-13 at halftime in the Battle of Sylvania. Coach Boyd, it's not like the Wildcats aren't getting the shots they want. They are, but as you said, Northview getting sped up, and that's a product of the type of defense Southview likes to play.
Yeah, Southview was really good early in this ball game. It was 17-9, and they were doing a good job of Northview's ball screens. I've seen them blitz it, which means they trapped it. We've seen a hard hedge in recovery, and we've seen a flat-out switch.
The Media Center is brought to you by Stoltenberger College. Fast track your career and apply at sctoday.edu. Our very own Caleb Spinner is back with the chain. He was at the Hive. We'll have that later in the show. But for now, if you want to win Student Section of the Week, all you have to do is tag us on social media. Hashtag SSOTW on X, Facebook, wherever you find BCSN. You know how we rock. Anyway, it's your chance to win it for the week and potentially the entire season. But we still have more action going on tonight on Gameday Nation, including our game of the week, Southview and Northview. We got to talk about Northview mentally, right? Is this a young team that maybe showed signs of growing up but is still young, or is this a Southview team that is just imposing its will on the young Wildcats?
I think two things can be right at the same time.
Can this help the Wildcats, though? Because this is experience, but, I mean, we don't have to rehash the teams that will be in Northview's district, but is there any silver lining here as far as because it's only going to get worse from here when we talk about the postseason.
Sure.
So how can a loss like this help the Wildcats when you think about the level of competition that they will have to face come the playoffs?
Well, what you do is you focus on your strengths. And there's always a green line. Like tonight, they just didn't shoot well. I mean, let's be honest.
Well, you're saying just as if it's just a one-off, but we saw this last week as well. That makes you scared.
23 points, though. I mean,
we told you why.
Yeah, you did. So it's not just a one-off. This is cause for concern.
No, it's not because it's just not but lack of shot making. It's part of it's lack of shot
part
making.
of it, yes,
but
but not the whole story.
but it's why some of that they're wide open looks that didn't go in, but some of them they're contested because you're sped up.
This basketball season, we're recognizing the best officials and referees who make playing the games possible. The BCSN official of the week is Michael Bird. It's presented by Midas, your one-stop shop for brakes, oil changes, tires, and all of your auto repair needs. He's been officiating for 19 seasons and has been honored to ref 3 state championship games. He's also officiated lower-level college games and women's Toledo Threat games. His passion of ref comes from being a former player, and he's appreciative of the relationships he developed over this time as a ref. Congratulations to Michael, and we appreciate your efforts. And when you heard the name Michael Bird, your eyes lit up. Why, Coach Boyd?
Buckets. Number one, what people don't understand about Michael Bird, when he was at Woodward in high school.
Oh, he was like that.
He was like that. He could fill it up. But now, just a great guy. An ambassador for high school basketball in this area, giving back through the refereeing.
It is time for our top recruit, and we head to Whitmer. Madison Finch averaging 13 points, 3 assists, and 3 steals a game for the Panthers this season, and for that, she is our top recruit. Madison Finch, just the type of player you want your team to gravitate towards, and you see that with the Panthers, but she's also following in some pretty good footsteps into college.
Yeah, she said she's committed to Ursuline College, and she's going to follow Whitmer alum Laura Campbell, who also played at Ursuline College. Laura was a former player of mine, and I'm so happy for Maddie. Maddie's one of my former students in junior high, and she talked about being positive. That's what she was. She had always had a smile on her face, very uplifting, and was a hard worker. She loved basketball from a very young age, worked really hard at it. We're proud of you, Maddie. Great job.
There you go. Congrats to Madison Finch, our top recruit, and congrats on the commitment. You have big fans here at BCSN. You're watching Gameday Nation, presented by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window. We'll be right back. Yes, sir. So St. John's, obviously a huge semifinal win, but then you look at St. John's tonight, winning the CHSL crown, the first Toledo team. First of all, the Titans were the first Toledo area team to advance through the tournament in 3 years, and now St. John's becoming the first ever to take home the Catholic League crown. When you think about the Titans getting hot at the right time, can't think of a bigger win than that.
That is that is epic. I mean, that's not just huge. And in the fashion that they did it, Race Kowalczyk down the
Give
stretch.
it to your best player and make
Ethan
it
James,
happen.
the two guys we've been talking about all year. But I don't think you understand, like, the first few years they were in that league, all the Catholic schools struggled. To win a game, we were happy to do it. Now to see a Toledo team go up to Michigan and win the league, man, props to you, Coach Schoen. Props to St. John's.
Man, there are some loaded districts that
That's
have been drawn and that are about to be drawn.
We'll pitch off of this. Do you have a district champion lock? Do you have a team that might as well write their name in as district champs right now? Well, we got time. We got a couple minutes.
If it doesn't get into foul trouble, I want to say Notre Dame. Because although Salina is the 1 seed in that district, I don't think Salina has played the type of schedule that Notre Dame has. Granted, Notre Dame's rotation is down to 6, maybe 7 players. So if Callie Thames, the engine of that offense, can stay out of foul trouble, and if they can remain, not as tired as one could be, then I think Notre Dame's a lock to make it out of that district.
Coach Travis Galloway's done more with less this year than maybe one of his best coaching jobs in his entire career. That's saying a lot. I would say Anthony Wayne girls.
Really?
Yep. I think they got a great shot of getting back to the regional.
That's a tough.
I like Bellevue girls.
Dang, he got my
Take
easy
the obvious pick. I'm
I was sliding him with the easy pick there.
And if St. John's keep rolling the way they're rolling, St. John's,
that's
going to be a tough one, though.
And we'll see how that one shakes out, right? They might have.
Okay, go. No.
Right, we'll see where they end up with Lima Senior, with St. Francis, etc. We got some final scores, though. We can stop. In the words of Dion, we don't have to be argumentative. We got some final scores to get to. We got a podcast every single Wednesday where I promise you my mic will work the entire time.
Yes, sirski. All right, let's take a look at some final scores. Battle of Sylvania, point. Southview, this is the largest margin of victory in the Battle of Sylvania within the past 7 matchups. 4 out of the previous 6 were decided by 1 possession, but not tonight. Meanwhile, Anthony Wayne dominant over Fremont Ross. Wait for the Generals to bounce back. You have Whitmer defeating Springfield. You have Napoleon over Findlay. Perrysburg, big time win over Clayton. Of course, St. John's taking home the Catholic League title, first Toledo team to do so. Ottawa Hills over Emmanuel Christian. Margaretta putting up a 90 ball. Man, Perkins, 52-40 over Bellevue. And then you have Cardinal Stritch, Port Clinton, and Sandusky getting wins. If you think the party is over, you are not correct. We have Game Day Nation Overtime with Mark Kuntz. Coming up at the top of the hour, we will have highlights of St. John's and DCC in the Catholic League Championship. The Titans taking home the title, first Toledo team to do so. Congrats to them. Have a great night.